Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to be doing a detailed review on the Chefman Barista Pro Espresso machine, model number RJ54-V2. I just bought this at Walmart. It cost $129. It was just released at Walmart a couple weeks ago. Check out my unboxing video where I go over dimensions and how to put it together. And then I've got how to prime the pumps. So I've got a video on how to set the machine up before you even turn it on or use it. So I've got the pumps primed, I've got milk in the frother, and we're going to be making espresso, cappuccino, and latte. And I'll show you exactly how it does. So just a real quick, it's got a power button on the right-hand side, and it stays in when it's on. It's got a touch screen. That's a really nice looking touch screen display. This will also keep the your cups warm before you're ready to brew them. So this is kind of a warming area. Like I said, it's got a milk frother. There's a little slide here for extra froth or less froth, so you got to slide that. This directs the froth into your cup. It comes with a portafilter. It comes with a double shot and a single shot. These just are laying in there. They're not held in there very good. There's what the portafilter looks like. It's a plastic handle. And all the espresso has to come out that little bitty hole right there. And there's what the filter looks like on the inside. Okay, so we come around the left side. It looks really nice. I do like the metal. It's got a nice big water reservoir. The water reservoir is removable. We can take it off. It's got these hooks that it goes into. So it does come with this plastic scoop, which is a tamper. And it does fit the portafilter okay. I mean, it's not the best, but over here, this is the drip tray. It just pulls up, but this was a little hard to get out. I had to use something to kind of, the first time it was really stuck. I had to kind of just pry it up, poke it up. And now you can turn this over to get you a little extra room. So you can turn it that way or that way. And it holds quite a bit. Underneath the machine, there's the espresso where the hot water is going to come out. There's the display. All of these are touch buttons, and it's single button operation. So you press the button, it froths the milk, and then it runs the espresso shot all in one. You can add extra froth by that. It's got single latte, double latte, single cappuccino double, single espresso shot double, and then it's got a clean function. So I do recommend getting like a mat. So filling these portafilters is messy. You may get better at it. Right now I'm pretty messy at it, but having this these plastic mats, like a placemat you'd set your plate on and everything, is going to make a world of difference. So now let's talk about this milk frother. This milk frother has been a little tricky. Getting it in and out has been tricky. I don't know how else to say that. And you want to make sure and get it in all the way. I have put it in, thought it was installed, and it wasn't frothing milk. So you fill it up. It's got this plastic tube in here. This is where the hot milk comes out, and these are your connections on the back. So this is designed that you can, when you're done with your drink, you can take this out and put this in the refrigerator. Then when you're ready, bring it out. That way you're not having to empty the milk every single time. Now installing it is the tricky part. And I'm not sure, so you gotta line those up right there. Now it does have this wording, tilt up and pull frother. To insert, tilt down and push frother. So it's not as simple as just pushing it in. So it says to insert, tilt down. Yeah, that's not helping. I find that if I push on the back, if I push down on the back, that's what but there's the thing. You want to hear it click. I had it installed like that, and the milk frother does not work. So you want to make sure you put it in, but then you make sure you hear a click and it kind of pops down. There's this kind of like thing that it pops down onto. So kind of slide it in, but again, it doesn't want to just slide right in. You got to kind of push it in and pop it down. This is very important. Now when it's in, it's very nice and secure. Then we can tilt this to go into our cup. whenever we put our cup in, that's to direct the flow. Okay, so the most important part is, let's talk coffee grounds. I have found you can buy this at Walmart. It's already pre-ground, espresso ground coffee. That means it's ground at an espresso grind, which is really, really fine. And it works really good in this machine. Now you may find Starbucks, see it says espresso roast, but this is actually ground at a medium grind for like a coffee machine. And then if you can't really use Dunkin' Donuts like drip coffee maker. So I'm going to show you this here. So here's the Cafe Bastilio. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's a really, really fine. If you grind your own coffee, it does have to be on a fine grind. Here's that Starbucks espresso roast, but it's ground at a medium grind. See how everything's really big? And same here's the Dunkin' Donuts. These you cannot use on this machine. It just doesn't pull an espresso shot. But you've got to use a fine. So you may or may not have a grinder. If you don't have a grinder, again, they do sell this already ground. You can have your local coffee shop grind you some coffee beans. Just make sure it's at an espresso grind, which is a fine grind. Now, typically dark roasts work better. I have ground a medium roast really fine, and it just didn't taste the best. So typically like a French roast or a really dark roast, and that's what this cafe is. Okay, so this is what they call the portafilter. It'll say 2 cups. See, it says 2 cup, and the other one says 1 cup. Now, I typically just do 2 shots. You'll see it's a little bit, well, it's deeper. They're the same size, but this one's deeper. So this is a scoop. We're going to scoop out our espresso grounds, put them in there, then we're going to tamp them down. But it's easy, we do it in the portafilter. So we just put it in. It goes any old way. Be careful, it will pop out. Again, here's what it looks like down in there. And so the espresso is going to come out both sides. So this is the messy part. You got to dump it in there. Make sure this is nice and dry. I have kind of cheated a little bit. I got a shaker bottle. I put the espresso grinds in there. And then I just find this is a little easier. I can pour out exactly what I need. You're going to make a little hill. Okay, there's a little hill. Then you're just going to kind of level it out a little bit. Okay, and then you're going to take your tamper and then you're going to press down on it. Not super hard, but you do want a nice press. And then just do one press and then wipe the grinds off, or the grounds, and then do another press, kind of in the area where, because it definitely leaves a little ridge, so kind of get the area where the ridge is so that it's tamped down all the way. Make sure there's nothing on the outside here. Again, it makes a mess. You just can't help but make that mess. So there it is, tamped down. It's just a little bit below. And see, that's not an even tamp. See how it's higher over here and lower over here? You want it to be even. You want that tamp to be nice and even. And again, make sure there's nothing. Okay, so we got this unlock and lock. So we're going to put the handle in, starting at the unlock position, and turn it to the lock. You got to kind of hold the machine, and it will go up. See how it kind of goes up. If you don't have it right, it won't go up in there. So when you got it right about there, you'll hear it kind of clunk in there. So it clunks in there, and then when you turn it, it gets really tight. And you got to hold the machine. Now get it to a 90-degree angle. It's going to come out to you straight at a 90-degree angle. Now I'm going to do an espresso shot first, then I'll do a latte. So I'm going to turn that around. I've got this little measuring cup. We're going to measure it. They do have this handy chart. So their espresso double shot is 3.25 ounces. I know on some machines it's around 2 ounces or 1.5 even. But this double shot is 3.25. The single is 1.75. And here is the total liquid quantity. When you do a cappuccino and you add the milk, there's what you end up with. So a latte, you end up with 10 ounces of milk and espresso. So I've had the machine on. You're just going to come up here. Again, espresso just runs the espresso side. If I did a cappuccino, it would froth the milk, and then run the espresso. If I did the latte, it would do the milk and then the espresso. But you can do just an espresso. I'm going to hit the double shot. So I'll try to catch the temperature. About 162, 170, I saw about 180. So it beeps when it's done, and the display goes back to normal, and there's the espresso. And we can see it definitely did 3. It did a little over 3 ounces. So I don't drink straight espresso. It's just really bitter to me. I've always enjoyed my espresso in cappuccinos or lattes. So again, that is a lot of espresso. Let's see, it's cooled off quite a bit. So about 160. I should have checked that a little sooner. Okay, so now let's take the portafilter off. You're just going to turn it back this way, and then it'll come straight down. And there's what it looks like. And it does drip on you. So that's why this mat comes in handy. So this is a tamping box. You don't have to have this, but it is kind of nice to get that. They call that a puck, to get that puck out of there. So this little lever here lifts up, and that holds that filter in there because you got to beat that puck out. And there it came out, and there it is. You can do this at the trash can. It's just a little trickier. I'll do it at the trash can, and I'll beat it on my other hand like that, and then the puck will come out into the trash can. So now we got to clean this up and get it ready for the next use. Okay, so let's put another espresso grounds in here. Instead of using this, I'll use this. I'll show you. You'll get good at it. It is messy. There's just no way around it when you first start doing it. So you're just going to put the espresso. I've already made a mess. Okay, so you get kind of a hill. Then just kind of even it out so when you tamp it down, it kind of all goes even. You don't want that big mound. Now take this, and you're going to tamp it. And then kind of get all the excess off. Give it one more. And then just kind of go around the side because it's not perfectly the same size. So you got to kind of go around a little bit. There, just keep wiping your excess off. You really want this to be clean when you don't want to start getting coffee grounds up in there. That'll start really interfering with putting this in. Okay, so let's put it in. Start over here. Turn. It gets really tight. So you really got to hold this machine, and you're doing it right. It's tight. Just 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's do a double cappuccino. So I found this to be an area that I didn't like as much. Finding a cup that fits in this area was tricky. I only had one cup that did it, and it's kind of a big cup. I'm used to using kind of these bigger cups a little bit. These don't fit in there at all. It actually, it's a little deceiving because you think, well, it should fit. Look, well, no, actually it shouldn't, but there's the angles, you can't get it because you got to get this little, you got to do the milk frother. So you're going to have to be careful with what size cup fits in there. This cup is, right about 3.5 inches, and it's perfect. I don't know that you could go much more. This one is 4 3/4. It definitely doesn't fit. But I hate to say, I hate to measure this and say you could put that size cup in because you got to get it in the angle, and then there's this angle here. So again, direct this, make sure this is directed right into the center. There's going to be a bunch of hot steam come out of here, so be careful. Since we're doing a cappuccino, we want more froth. So standard, I'm going to put this to the back. To the back is more. That is less. That's just a little slighter. Okay, I've got my shot in. The milk, there is enough milk to do the drink. I'm simply going to hit this double button now. The rest of it goes blank. And then that one's lit up, and it's going to start the frothing first. about 120. Now it's going to do the espresso shot, all automatically. The machine's kind of loud. It's that water pump you hear. And then it beeps at you when it's done. The display goes back to everything showing. So there you have a double cappuccino. You can add your syrups. And typically these drinks cool off quick. Yeah, it's already starting to cool off pretty quick. About 135, 150. But if you go down farther in the drink, it's even cooler. But it does taste pretty good. It's mostly milk, but it does taste really good. And I like to add a splash of vanilla. So these syrups really help. This is French vanilla. It's sugar-free. I like to do 1 to 2 tablespoons, which is just like dashes, I call them. So 1, 1.5. And then I stir that up. There you have a vanilla double cappuccino. It tastes really good. You can add a little whipped cream to the top. Okay, so let's take the portafilter out. There's what it looks like. Again, flip that little lever, and then you got to get that espresso shot out. So I recommend going out and getting some cheaper black towels. I've ruined a lot of my wife's nice kitchen towels because you're constantly drying and like mopping up messes, and coffee will stain old towels. So just get you some old towels that you can use. You're going to constantly be drying and cleaning things. Again, if we check this up here, this top area does get warm. That's where you preheat your mug. Yeah, you can definitely feel that getting warm. And there's where the water comes out. It's not too dirty yet. To clean that, you can just do a single shot without the portafilter on, and that will clean that area. Be careful, that water is hot. Okay, so let's do another double shot, and you can do single shots too. I just keep doing double shots. Again, make a little hill. You'll get good at this. And just kind of even it out. Make it kind of even so when you tamp it, and it's just not big enough. You got to kind of go around the edges and get the edges down. Okay, and get this all cleaned off. Very important. All these steps are very important. There you go. That's nice and tamped down. Let's go ahead and put it in. And you got to hold the machine. Let's get our cup, direct the milk in. Let's do a double latte. This is a really nice touch screen. You don't have to press it too hard. It's very nice touch screen. So for a latte, I should have moved that back to standard froth. Lattes don't take a lot of froth. Okay, so it finished with the froth. Now it's going to add the double shot. It's the same amount double shot. You just have more milk with a latte. So with this latte now, we can make a white chocolate mocha. So if you've got some white chocolate sauce, add 2 tablespoons of white chocolate mocha or white chocolate sauce. There's 1, and there's 2. Then get you some Hershey syrup. Add 1 tablespoon of it. Now this is a lot of sugar, but it tastes good. Give it a good stir. Get that syrup all stirred in there. Throw you some whipped cream on top now. I got it nice and stirred. Drizzle, you can drizzle a little bit of white mocha on top. I like to do just a little bit for decoration. Just kind of gives it a nice look. And there you've got a Starbucks white chocolate mocha. It tastes really good. Now it cools off quick, but you got to drink it quick. Okay, so again, let's say that was my last drink. I would just simply take the milk frother. Again, pulling it off, it says you got to, yeah, so tilt that up and it'll come off there. So I could put this in the refrigerator for my next use. Again, we'll take this off. I'm going to show you cleanup now. So I emptied the milk out and I got just fresh water in there. Go ahead and install this. Put the steam wand so it's pointed into your container and just hit the clean button. That'll run some hot steam through there to kind of clean out those tubes. Be careful, that is really hot steam. Okay, so it finishes up. That took about 3 minutes. So it'll run some steam through here, then it stops, and then it kind of runs just some hot water through there, then it goes back to steam, and then the display goes back to normal. So I've been using this today. I'm a little torn about it. I mean, price is going to be the ultimate point. So this is probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest like one-touch espresso machines. Other espresso machines are they're cheaper, but they require a lot more work with the milk. This definitely mimics the Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. I think that's a little bit better machine. It's a little more refined. I do like the looks of this. It did make a nice drink. The espresso seems to be a little on a large quantity size. That 3.75 ounces seems to be quite a bit for a double shot. You know, I'm not sure if Chefman is going to last a long time or not. My Mr. Coffee has lasted me over 4 years. I really like it. I'll be doing a comparison video, but right now I'm going to get this detailed video out. You know, the Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista, it ranges around $200, but they do put it on sale around Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have seen it around $150, and that's a heck of a deal. You can also buy them on Facebook Marketplace. Pretty good prices, around $100. So $130 for this. I wouldn't pay any more than that. Time will tell if longevity is going to be there. It did make a nice drink. The frother, putting this in and out was just a little tricky. I do like the touch screen. This heats up really nice. This is one of the hottest ones I've felt up here. And the portafilter was okay. This is pretty comparable to the Mr. Coffee. Again, that's that one hole where the espresso comes out. And there's really no way of taking this apart. So thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.